You won't believe this, but in 1947, a U.S. pilot claimed to have flown over Antarctica and seen something no textbook ever dared mention: a crystal city nestled within a vast, ice-free valley. That man was Admiral Richard E. Byrd, the only person in American history to receive the Medal of Honor, the Legion of Merit, the Distinguished Flying Cross, and the Congressional Gold Medal, all in one lifetime. But what truly shook the world wasn't just his credentials. It was what he allegedly revealed in a radio transmission, one that was mysteriously cut off mid-broadcast. According to that fragmented audio, Antarctica might not be the barren, frozen wasteland we've always been told. If Byrd was telling the truth, then everything we thought we knew about the bottom of the world might be a carefully crafted illusion. Because here's the question: why did the U.S. government deploy over 4,700 troops, submarines and aircraft to a land supposedly home to nothing but ice and penguins? What happened during the 3 hours Admiral Byrd vanished from all radar contact? Hours even the Navy couldn't account for. And perhaps most disturbingly, why did every nation on Earth, including bitter enemies at war, agree to go silent about this place? Some say the answers lie within declassified files. Others, in whispers from men who were there, boots in the snow, eyes wide with disbelief. Whatever it is that Antarctica is hiding, it may be bigger, stranger, and more dangerous than anything you've ever imagined. So come with me. Let's uncover this mystery, piece by chilling piece. And if this is already making your skin crawl, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because what's coming next is even more disturbing. Has anyone ever launched a military-grade assault just to study snow? In late 1946, the U.S. Navy initiated what was publicly described as a scientific expedition, Operation Highjump. Officially led by Admiral Richard E. Byrd, the mission aimed to test equipment and conduct research in the frozen wilderness of Antarctica. But here's what raises eyebrows. They didn't send a few researchers in parkas. They sent an armada, 13 warships, 1 attack submarine, over 30 aircraft, and nearly 4,700 troops to a land supposedly inhabited by nothing but ice and penguins. Some military analysts believe this was never just a research mission. They argue it was a covert maneuver in the opening act of the Cold War, an experiment in launching nuclear-capable operations from the polar edge of the Earth. Even stranger, the operation was planned to last 6 months, but it was called off after just 40 days. The official reason? Bad weather. But meteorologists know that February is Antarctica's summer, the most stable time of year. So what really happened down there? Some have drawn comparisons to other once-denied programs like MK Ultra or Area 51, secrets that were ridiculed for years until the truth clawed its way to the surface. Independent sources suggest Operation Highjump may have been a fragment of something far larger, something Admiral Byrd may have glimpsed, but was never allowed to reveal in full. Now, rewind the clock. In late 1938, a German vessel quietly departed Hamburg. Aboard, scientists, explorers, and a belief many would call madness. Their destination? Antarctica. Their declared purpose? Geographic survey. But according to persistent rumors, their true goal was far more ambitious: to build a secret underground base, later dubbed Base 211. Why would Hitler care about a frozen continent while the world braced for war? Some historians believe he was obsessed with ancient legends, myths of a superior race said to live beneath the Earth's surface. The Thule Society, a powerful occult group within the Nazi elite, believed Antarctica was the gateway to the lost Aryan homeland. And here's where it gets stranger. They allegedly found something: a warm oasis, nearly 300 square miles, free of ice, a place teeming with geothermal activity, flowing water, and dense vegetation. Modern science confirms that beneath Antarctica lie vast networks of volcanoes and subglacial lakes, an ecosystem still largely uncharted. So if the Nazis were there, who else might have followed? Some believe Operation Highjump wasn't just a drill, it was a hunt, a search for whatever remnants of that German expedition still remained. But it ended too early, too mysteriously. And Admiral Byrd, the man in charge, later made a chilling statement. Antarctica is not what we've been told, which begs a darker question. What aren't we being told? Could what the Nazis once sought now rest beneath a continent cloaked in silence? What really happened during the 3 hours Admiral Byrd vanished from radar? In the next chapter, we'll dive into what some claim was a direct encounter, an event so extraordinary it was buried for decades, along with the journal that describes it, a decorated pilot, a live broadcast, then radio silence for 3 hours. According to unverified reports, Admiral Byrd's aircraft lost all contact during an Antarctic flight. No signal, no coordinates, just silence for 180 minutes. Later, a private journal surfaced describing what Byrd called a world that should not exist, in a land of eternal ice. He spoke of forests, flowing rivers, warm air, and a sky without a sun. He claimed to have flown through a luminous valley where navigation instruments spun out of control. If it was a hallucination, why did the equipment also fail? Then came the vision, a crystal city, wingless aircraft, and a creature, something resembling a mammoth. Byrd wrote that he was invited to land by mysterious flying objects. Inside the city of glass, he met someone referred to only as the Master, a figure who knew his name before a single word was spoken. Insanity? Perhaps, but Antarctica is not entirely frozen. Geologists have confirmed the presence of volcanoes, thermal lakes, and isolated ecosystems, like those found beneath Lake Vostok. A thermal oasis amid glaciers is not impossible. Not anymore, but it was the message that Byrd allegedly carried back which truly unsettled those in power. According to his journal, the beings, calling themselves Ariani, warned humanity against nuclear warfare, a warning that was never released publicly, a journal never acknowledged in official archives. If it was fiction, why hide it for decades? He returned, he brought back a message, but no one was allowed to hear it. Rumors claim that following his return, Byrd was summoned to a classified briefing at the Pentagon, where he disclosed everything he had seen. Not long after, he stopped talking. Some believe Byrd carried a warning the world simply wasn't ready to accept. In a passage published posthumously, he expressed deep concerns over unchecked technology, destructive energy, and a world spiraling out of balance. The listener, whoever they were, was urged to not repeat the mistakes of the past. And then things got darker. Byrd's son was reportedly found dead under mysterious circumstances. A senior officer involved in Operation Highjump. Gone goes unknown. Coincidence? Or part of a long chain of silences? The bigger question remains, why did every nation on Earth agree to keep Antarctica off limits? The Antarctic Treaty, signed in 1959, forbids military activity, restricts exploration, and limits public access. Ordinary people can't just go there, not without a government permit and a sanctioned scientific reason. If there's nothing to hide, then why all the boundaries? We may never know the full truth, but one thing remains indisputable. Admiral Byrd vanished from all contact for 3 hours above the most mysterious place on Earth. No one truly knows where he went, and that remains an unsolved mystery. But what about you? What do you believe is hidden behind that veil of ice? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you feel that pull to keep searching, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a step in our journey to uncover what still hides on this earth. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.